You know, we just heard from Wizards coach Scott Brooks. We heard from Woj in our last segment. But now I want to bring in Matt Barnes and Paul Pierce, former Wizard Paul Pierce, I should point out, to get the players' perspective on all this. Paul, what can the Wizards do to make Beal happy at this point? Because he appears to still be interested. He got up there again last night and said, I want to set things right and stay with this team and be with this team in this way.
Let me tell you something, Rach. I was in the same circumstance in my 9th year, and Bill, I believe, is in his 9th year. He wants to be recognized as one of the game's best players, and, you know, you don't get that same recognition when you're on a losing team. And so I really clearly understand this frustration, but I think they have to play out the year, you know, and then after the year, reevaluate things, because that's the same thing that happened to me. I was at the boiling point where I was ready to get traded if we didn't do anything. Then here comes Kevin and Ray in my next year. So I'm not sure if they're capable of doing that, you know, bringing in those type of players the following year. But I truly understand his frustrations. And if they can't do anything by the summer, I would really suggest trying to trade them and get younger assets and give Bill at least an opportunity to be recognized as one of the game's best players on a contender.
I love Scott Brooks. I almost kind of felt bad when he was telling his stories, but similar teams have gone through similar issues. Bradley Beal's a consummate pro on and off the court. But in my eyes, anything short of getting KG and Ray, which that ain't happening at the end of this year, the only thing to make Brad happy is you got to trade him. You know, I feel like I've been saying this for the last 2 years. You know, tremendous talent. The thing about Brad is he's going to continue to work hard and continue to say the right thing. He's not going to sit out. He's not going to disappear. He's not going to cause a distraction. He's going to continue to say the right thing. But to me, in my opinion, the only thing that's going to make him happy, honestly, is to be able to trade him and let him, you know, enjoy his prime on a team that has a chance to win a championship. Because this team, even healthy, even with guys coming back, they're still not a very good team.
And it will be interesting to see what they can do when guys come back. I will say the litany of what this team has been through in the past couple weeks, it is insanity. You look at their off and on list, who's out one day, who's not out one day, injuries coming in, Russell Westbrook's in, then Russell Westbrook's out for a week. They pulled Bradley Beal just in case Jason Tatum made him sick. When Jason Tatum had a COVID positive test, then Brad comes back in the lineup, then more guys go out, then they start canceling or postponing more games. It has been a mess. They have not even seen each other. You heard Scott say they're only meeting basically in the parking lot to come back and forth from testing. So I think it's fair to give them a little more run here. As he said, they're playing 15 games in February to try to make up for some of these postponements. And we'll see what happens going into that March trade deadline. So it's an interesting situation. All right, guys, it is time for, oh, yes, I can hear it. I can hear it.
It's a make or miss league.
It's a make or miss league.
Make. Miss.
It's a make or miss league.
Make adjustments. Nets, Hawks, Kyrie going up and under for the circus layup here. Matt, I don't know if that was an unintentional tribute to MJ or just Kyrie being Kyrie. Remember, Jordan did
Kyrie
it
is
to
incredible.
the Nets.
Kyrie is one of the best finishers in the game, either hand. His body control, his ability to hang in the air, the ability to take contact with his stature and still be able to finish. He's definitely one of the best finishers in the game.
Best finishers under the rim. Definitely.
Right.
I love watching Kyrie around the basket. One of my favorite things in the game today. So good. When you're putting up MJ video in comparison, you're doing something right. All right,
yeah,
Miss.
That's crazy.
Billy Hoyle, Bucks Raptors. Donte DiVincenzo gets way up for the jam. Did you know Donte had bounce
Billy
like that?
Hoyle.
You know. Miss Billy Hoyle, you get it?
That's a great comparison, Billy Hoyle. Wow, a lot of kids don't even know who that is. Come on now, who's Billy Hoyle?
As Bomani Jones calls him. Go ahead, guys.
The lane opened up so wide, I was just glad he finished it. Sometimes when you get those wide open lanes and you're not accustomed to dunking, something ends up coming to bite your ankle or you try to dunk it too hard, but luckily he finished.
Bomani Jones, one of his favorite players, he says, I love white Donte. There you go. All right, make cookies. Crunch time in San Antonio. Dejounte Murray picking Kemba's pocket, and then runs down for the slam.
Oh, man.
Matt,
Kemba's still trying to get his rhythm.
He is, right?
I mean, he's only been back a few games. You're not going to see that probably the rest of his career with the clock winding down with a game to with a chance to put the game on ice or tie the game, I mean, you're not going to see that much from Kemba Walker probably the rest of his career.
And you have to remember,
Dejounte
too.
Murray is a great young talent.
Yeah.
Got a chance to see him in Seattle when he was in high school playing against Jamal Crawford, and he blew me away. So it's no surprise that he's continuing to elevate his game in the league.
It is amazing. You know, Jason Tatum was saying last night, because he was out with COVID, that this is the first time they've kind of all been together in a while. And you saw that last night, Paul. You're right. All right, missed assignments after a Heat turnover. Jokic diamond up Gary Harris with the football pass. How does this happen off an inbound, Paul?
Listen, I'm going to have something to say about the Miami Heat later in the show, but that's not a good sign for the Miami Heat when they give up a made basket. They make a basket, and then it took Jokic like 10 seconds to take the ball out, and he still threw a long pass for a layup. That's not a good sign for Miami.
Coaches hate this. Coaches absolutely hate it.
Oh, they hate it. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.